Have you ever found yourself wide awake at 3 a.m., staring into the darkness, wondering why your body just won't let you sleep? You're not alone. This early morning wake-up is far more common among older adults than many people realize. And it's not just a random quirk of aging, it's often your body's way of trying to tell you something important. In this video, we'll explore 5 meaningful reasons why so many people start waking up around 3 a.m. as they get older, and what those moments of wakefulness may actually be revealing about your health, your habits, and your life as a whole. These aren't surface-level explanations. They're grounded in real biology, psychology, and the natural changes that come with age. By the time you finish watching, you may see your sleep patterns in an entirely new light. We'll cover topics like hormonal shifts, physical health, emotional patterns, and even the subtle social and environmental changes that often go unnoticed. And we'll approach it all with clarity, compassion, and respect for the wisdom and experience you've gained through the years. So if you've been lying awake at 3 a.m. wondering, why now? You're in exactly the right place. Stay with me until the end, because what you discover today could not only help you sleep better, it could help you understand your body in a whole new way. Let's begin. Reason number 1, decreased melatonin production. One of the most common reasons older adults find themselves waking up during the night, especially around 3 a.m., is the natural decline in melatonin, the hormone that helps regulate your sleep-wake cycle. Often referred to as your body's internal clock keeper, melatonin plays a key role in helping you not only fall asleep, but stay asleep through the night. In your younger years, your body likely produced melatonin at healthy, consistent levels. That helped you enjoy long, restful nights without much interruption. But as you age, melatonin production naturally begins to taper off. This subtle change can make it harder to maintain deep sleep, even if falling asleep is still easy for you at bedtime. You might drift off just fine after a peaceful evening, only to find yourself fully awake at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., or 4 a.m. without any real reason. No loud noises, no stress dreams, just an alert brain that no longer has enough melatonin in the tank to keep you sleeping. And this shift isn't a sign that something's wrong. It's simply part of your body's natural rhythm evolving over time. Environmental factors can also make this worse. Even small sources of light, a street lamp outside your window, the glow of a digital clock, or a hallway light peeking under the door, can further reduce melatonin levels, making your sleep even more fragile. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to these subtle disruptions. Take Harold, for example. At 72, he's always been a solid sleeper. But recently, he noticed he was waking up like clockwork at 3:15 a.m., feeling fully alert but not particularly anxious. Once he learned that this pattern was tied to lower melatonin and not something he was doing wrong, his perspective shifted. He stopped blaming himself and instead started adjusting his environment and habits. Now he keeps his bedroom darker, avoids screens before bed, and takes a short evening walk to help reinforce his circadian rhythm. That one change, understanding what was happening and responding with gentle adjustments, made all the difference. These small shifts helped send his body the message that it wasn't quite bedtime yet, and while Charles still wakes up early now and then, he feels more rested and less frustrated because he understands why it's happening. That kind of awareness makes all the difference. When you realize your early wake-ups are part of a natural shift in your internal clock, it becomes easier to work with your body rather than feeling like it's working against you. That's the beauty of insight. It turns irritation into intention. Instead of fighting your body's rhythm, you start supporting it with simple habits that gently guide your system in the direction that feels best for you. Number 2. Shifted sleep cycles and advanced sleep phase. Another key reason many older adults wake up around 3 a.m. is a natural shift in the body's circadian rhythm, a change known as advanced sleep phase. As we age, our internal clock begins to move forward, making us feel sleepy earlier in the evening and naturally wake up earlier in the morning, even if we don't want to. You might notice this shift in small ways. Maybe you catch yourself nodding off halfway through a movie or waking up at sunrise without needing an alarm. At first, it might feel like a minor change in habit, but it's actually a deeper biological process that becomes more noticeable over time. When you're younger, your body tends to follow a later schedule, staying up into the evening and waking with the sun. But as your internal rhythm gradually shifts, that window moves forward. Suddenly, you're falling asleep by 9 p.m., sometimes even earlier. And that means by 3 a.m., your body may have already gone through most of its natural sleep cycle. You wake up not because something's wrong, but because your body thinks it's time to start the day. This isn't insomnia. It's not a disorder. It's simply your sleep schedule being quietly rewired over the years. And this shift doesn't just come from biology. There's also a subtle emotional and lifestyle side to it. As we age, many of us live in quieter homes, especially if we're retired or living alone. Without the buzz of activity, kids running around, long workdays, evening events, our brains get the signal to wind down much earlier. If we eat dinner early, dim the lights, and settle into the evening routine, our bodies respond by getting sleepy sooner. And without daily time anchors like work schedules or busy social lives, the shift becomes even stronger. That's exactly what happened to Charles. At 68, newly retired, he found his days calm and predictable. Dinner at 5:30, a little TV, and lights out by 9 p.m. Then, like clockwork, he'd be wide awake at 3 a.m., alert, clear-headed, and confused. He assumed it was a problem, until he learned it was a natural result of advanced sleep phase. Once he understood the reason, Charles made a few gentle changes. He stretched his evenings just a bit, reading under soft lighting, enjoying a walk after dinner, or calling a loved one for a short chat before bed. These social and sensory cues gave his body the signal to stay up a little later. And over time, his wake-up shifted too, moving closer to dawn. No stress, no medication, just a small adjustment rooted in understanding. The result? Fewer 3 a.m. wake-ups and a daily rhythm that felt more aligned with his lifestyle. This natural shift in sleep patterns happens to many older adults, but it's rarely discussed. And yet, simply understanding it can lift a lot of unnecessary guilt or confusion. Instead of seeing your sleep as broken, you start to see it for what it is, just different. Once you recognize that your internal clock has changed, you can begin shaping your routine in a way that supports your health and helps you feel more at ease. So, if you're waking up around 3 a.m., and you feel like you've already had a full night's rest, your body might simply be following an earlier rhythm now. And once you're aware of that, you can respond with small adjustments that bring greater balance and comfort to your day. If you're still with me and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend hitting that button and turning on the bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Your support helps us continue creating thoughtful, useful content just for you. Now, let's keep going. Number 3, physical discomfort and health-related interruptions. Another major reason older adults find themselves waking up around 3 a.m. is physical discomfort or subtle health conditions that tend to surface more clearly in the stillness of the night. As we age, the chances of experiencing chronic pain or ongoing medical issues increase. And while these conditions may not feel overwhelming during the day, they often reveal themselves more strongly when everything else is quiet and still. These aren't always dramatic wake-up calls. They're often quiet intrusions: a sore joint, a stiff back, a full bladder, just enough discomfort to bring you out of deep sleep around that early morning hour. Take arthritis, for example. You might fall asleep just fine, but after lying in the same position for hours, your joints begin to ache. That discomfort slowly builds until it nudges you awake. Or maybe it's acid reflux. If dinner was a little too late or you reclined too soon afterward, the discomfort can show up in the early hours of the morning, disrupting your rest without warning. Even simple things like muscle cramps, dry mouth, or a small shift in room temperature can be enough to disturb your sleep at 3 a.m., especially when your body is more sensitive and less resilient than it used to be. One of the most common physical causes of early wake-ups, especially for older men, is the need to urinate. As the bladder becomes less elastic with age, it sends the "go now" signal more frequently. During the day, this is easy to manage, but in the quiet of night, it becomes impossible to ignore. And once you're up and moving, even for a quick trip to the bathroom, your body may already be shifting into a lighter, more alert state, making it harder to fall back asleep. And then there's the role of medication. Many older adults take daily prescriptions for things like blood pressure, heart conditions, or pain relief. While these medications are essential, they often come with side effects that can quietly impact sleep. Increased sensitivity to noise or temperature, nighttime awakenings, or the need to urinate more frequently. Often, we don't connect these side effects to sleep issues until someone points it out, or until we start tracking our routines a little more closely. Take Eleanor, for example. She's 76 and has always been a light sleeper. But in the past year, she noticed she was waking up at 3:30 a.m. almost every night. After months of assuming it was just part of aging, Eleanor finally spoke with her doctor, who pointed out that one of her medications was affecting her hydration levels, leading to more frequent nighttime bathroom visits. With a few adjustments to her dosage timing and some gentle lifestyle changes, she found that she could stay asleep longer, and even when she did wake up, it was easier to drift back into rest. And that's the key takeaway. Waking up due to physical discomfort or health-related needs doesn't mean your body is failing. In fact, it's the opposite. It means your body is responding, alerting you, doing exactly what it's designed to do. These signals are like gentle nudges, helping you pay attention, adapt your habits, and care more intentionally for your health. So, while a 3 a.m. wake-up may seem like an annoyance, it can also be an invitation, a chance to listen more closely to what your body needs. Number 4, lifestyle habits that shift your sleep rhythm. Another powerful, often overlooked reason older adults wake up around 3 a.m. lies in the subtle choices and routines that shape each day. These daily habits, many of them comforting or well-intentioned, can gradually reshape your internal clock over time. For example, it's common for older adults to begin eating dinner earlier, winding down sooner in the evening, and becoming less physically active throughout the day. These quiet shifts send signals to the body that it's time to start preparing for sleep, even if it's only 7 or 8 p.m. Naturally, this earlier wind down means the body finishes its rest cycle earlier too, which often leads to waking up in the early morning hours, like 3 a.m. Think about how your days may have changed since retirement or becoming less busy. Without things like a morning commute, scheduled meetings, or errands that keep you active and alert, your body no longer has those strong external time cues. Instead, it follows the rhythm of your quieter surroundings. A dimly lit home in the evening, a lack of mental stimulation, or even a quiet environment can trigger melatonin production earlier than expected, leading to earlier bedtimes and, naturally, earlier awakenings. There's also the connection between food and sleep that many people don't realize. Eating dinner earlier is often a healthy choice, but if you don't have a light snack later in the evening, your blood sugar can dip overnight. That drop might not make you feel hungry, but it's enough to wake your body out of sleep. Add in caffeine from that cup of coffee or tea you had in the afternoon, which stays in the system longer as we age, and it's no surprise your rest becomes lighter and more easily interrupted. Take Walter, for instance. At 74 and newly retired, his days slowly became more relaxed. Dinner moved to 5 p.m. He'd doze off during the evening news and often went to bed by 8:30 or 9. Before long, he was waking at 3 a.m. sharp, clear-headed but confused. After reflecting on his new routine, Walter began making small changes. He took a short walk after lunch. He read under brighter lights in the evening to help signal to his brain that it wasn't time for sleep just yet. He also cut out napping after dinner. These little shifts gently pushed his internal clock later, helping him fall asleep closer to 10 p.m. and wake up closer to the time he actually wanted to start his day. What's remarkable is how often we underestimate the influence of routine. Our bodies thrive on rhythm, those daily patterns that quietly signal the brain when to wind down and when to wake up. But as those patterns shift or fade, the body's internal clock can start to lose its sense of time. That's when sleep becomes lighter, more fragmented, and less predictable. The good news is this: by paying attention to those subtle changes and making gentle, thoughtful adjustments, we can help guide our bodies back toward a rhythm that feels more natural and restorative. If you're still watching and these insights are resonating with you, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to hit that button and turn on the bell so you won't miss future videos. Your support means a lot and helps us continue bringing you helpful, compassionate content. Now let's move on. Number 5, emotional and psychological restlessness. Sometimes, waking up at 3 a.m. isn't about your body at all. It's about your mind. As we grow older, emotions that were once tucked away under the weight of responsibilities or distractions can quietly rise to the surface, especially in the stillness of the night. In those quiet hours, when the world is dark and calm, unspoken thoughts, lingering regrets, and unanswered questions often begin to stir. You might not feel panicked or anxious. Instead, it might be a gentle unease, a sense that something inside you wants to be heard. Your mind may revisit memories, old relationships, decisions long past, or people you've loved and lost. And with fewer distractions to keep those feelings at bay, they sometimes come through more clearly at 3 a.m. than at any other time. This kind of restlessness doesn't usually feel loud. It's not like the sharp anxiety you might have felt in your younger years. It's softer, quieter, more reflective. A hum in the background, a longing for peace or connection that doesn't always have a clear name. For many older adults, loneliness plays a quiet role in this kind of wakefulness. As social circles shrink, children move away, and daily routines become simpler. The contrast between a busy day and a quiet night can feel more profound. Even if you don't feel lonely during the day, the stillness of night may uncover a soft ache, a desire for conversation, connection, or simply the comforting presence of another. Consider Gloria. She's 80 and widowed. During the day, she keeps herself busy, gardening, chatting with her grandchildren, watching her favorite shows. But around 3 a.m., she often finds herself waking up, her thoughts drifting back to the times she shared with her late husband or to gentle worries she tucks away while the sun is up. At first, she thought something was wrong with her sleep, but over time, she realized it wasn't about her sleep at all. It was her heart asking to be heard. To support herself, Gloria began keeping a small journal by her bed. When she wakes up, she sometimes writes down whatever's on her mind. Nothing elaborate, just a few quiet thoughts. She also added a peaceful evening ritual, like listening to calming music or writing a short letter to a friend. These small acts gave her emotions a place to go, helping her release what was on her heart and return to sleep with greater ease. Because the truth is, the heart doesn't keep time the way a clock does. It remembers what it wants to remember, brings up the questions that need asking, and often does all of that at 3 a.m. when the world is silent. But that's not a flaw. That's a reflection of your depth. If you find yourself awake and reflective in those early hours, it may be because you're carrying wisdom that's asking to be seen. You've lived through joy, sorrow, love, and loss, and all those moments shape not just your memories, but who you are at your core. Instead of viewing these wake-ups as a problem to fix, try meeting them with compassion and curiosity. What is your mind asking you to notice? What's waiting to be expressed? What part of you is longing for understanding, even in the quiet? Sometimes the most healing kind of rest doesn't come from pushing those moments away, but from honoring them gently. In doing so, you may not only improve your sleep, but gain a deeper understanding of yourself, right here in this meaningful stage of life. Final thoughts. As we bring this video to a close, take a quiet moment to reflect on what you've just heard. Which part spoke to you most deeply? Was it the shift in your internal clock, the subtle physical signals your body sends? Or perhaps something more emotional, an inner rhythm that only surfaces when the house is still? Each of these 5 reasons offers a new way to understand your early wake-ups. Not one of them points to something wrong. In fact, they reveal just how much your body and mind are still doing, responding, adapting, and communicating with you in their own quiet language. There is a quiet strength in listening to what your body needs, especially in those early morning hours when everything feels still. Maybe now, instead of seeing a 3 a.m. wake-up as a disruption, you can begin to see it as a message, a gentle reminder to pay closer attention to yourself, your routines, your inner world. You're not alone in this experience. Many people are walking this same path, seeking understanding and comfort. And the beautiful thing is, with just a little insight, you gain the power to make thoughtful, meaningful changes, ones that lead to deeper rest, more comfort, and a greater sense of peace in your own rhythm. If any of this felt familiar, take it as a reminder. You're not just aging, you're evolving. And with that evolution comes the opportunity to care for yourself in new, more intentional ways, to rest more deeply and greet each day with just a little more clarity, softness, and strength. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share one thing that stood out to you or how you plan to apply it in your own life. Your voice matters, and your reflections inspire this entire community. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating thoughtful content to inform and uplift you. Thanks again for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.